have spent 1 week doing reading deprivation and it absolutely sucks. This is only a second day of reading deprivation, so it's Tuesday. And I hate it so much. This is crazy. This is mildly torturous, but like in a way that's actually beneficial. Day 3 of reading deprivation, Wednesday. I'm totally crashing out here. Reading deprivation, day 4, Thursday. This is so frustrating. It is only mornings. And I'm already frustrated. That bodes really well for the day. Really well. If you're asking yourself, then why are you doing it? There are 2 reasons for this. First of all, I'm doing The Artist's Way, which is a book. It's a 12-week program. This is week 4, I think. It's an entire week of reading deprivation. The other reason, I have done The Artist's Way twice before, and reading deprivation week has always brought me so much. So I guess I have to do it. Here's what reading deprivation is really quickly, if you don't know, but the name kind of already says it, but it doesn't say it all. Reading deprivation essentially is you're not allowed to read. You are not allowed to watch TV or series or stream anything. This is an extension that I made for myself because this is not in the original, which was created before social media. You're not allowed to do social media. That's you are allowed to listen to music. The only exceptions I've made to these rules is I am allowed to still post on social media, which means I have to spend a few minutes on there every single day because I can't just stop posting for an entire week. People will think I'm gone missing or something. Also, it's not good for the social media algorithm, and I'm not going to ruin that just for doing 1 week of reading deprivation. What is it good for? I think that's probably the first question that you ask yourself when you read in The Artist's Way. You're doing a week of reading deprivation. No books, no watching stuff. What is it good for? Well, if you're not able to do these, you have to find other things to do. You can clean out stuff. You can try out new makeup. You can listen to music. You can practice instruments. You can get just freaking creative and organize and clean and whatever. But that's not just the main goal, to get you creating and to see that you actually do have a good bit of time to do creative stuff, at least occasionally, if you cut out some of these things that are kind of cluttering up your time, or cut them down at least. That's not the only thing it's good for though. It's also to get you thinking again, because in this day and age especially, and I know this was not the original intent for it because the book was written in the 90s, I think. Because in today's day and age, we're constantly surrounded by something going on. We are watching social media, we have a show on in the background, we are listening to a podcast, we are doing this, we are doing that, we're constantly interconnected, and we're constantly, honestly, kind of overloaded and often overstimulated. And when you then take a few steps back from that, you realize maybe a little bit of silence here and there, or just a bit of background music, is actually good for me. You have to face your thoughts, you have to face your emotions, because suddenly you have nothing else to fill your time with. You will start feeling, and this is something that I've experienced, you will feel a good bit of rage at that. Rage is a good emotion as long as you learn how to cope with it and you know how to cope with it. It is good. It is part of the process. Embrace it. The results for me of this experience of this 1 week, and I will cut together some snippets so you can see how desperate I was at sometimes. This is only a second day of reading deprivation, so it's Tuesday. And I hate it so much. Like, I get so much done now, like, oh my gosh. I have drawn stage outfits. I have written multiple songs. I have started producing a new song. I have written another new song that I already have the chords to, and I just need to get to the computer and produce it. I am sticking to those rules. But at the same time, it's like, Day 3 of reading deprivation, Wednesday. I just left my cousin like, half a dozen voice messages. Because what else am I gonna do? This is crazy. What am I doing with myself? I'm totally crashing out here. Reading deprivation, day 4, Thursday. What do I do? But that's not going to fill the day. Obviously I have work, but that's also not going to fill the entire day. What am I going to... I do intend to practice a little bit of singing, and do a little bit of painting and listen to some music and dance a little bit, but what else am I supposed to be doing? Let's go do something. Let's go do something. Like have breakfast. That's a decent idea. Yeah. So one of the results was for me that I spend way less time on my phone. So much less. Like I suddenly had, when you cut out a lot of social media, not entirely, but mostly, you have so much time in your hands. How do you fill that time? You suddenly have so much time. And I spent like way less than half of the time I usually spend. Usually I spend probably about 6 hours a day on my phone. Yes, that includes YouTube, which I never actively watch when it's on my phone. So probably more like 4 to 5 hours what I usually spend on my phone. And suddenly I was spending like 2 hours max. Probably even less, because I was obviously still replying to like texts and stuff like that. That's crazy. That frees so much time. I'm not saying don't have a little bit of a comfort doom scroll here and there. And I will definitely occasionally have that again too once this week is over. But generally speaking, I will definitely cut down my social media usage even more. Even though I've already been cutting it down more and more over the last 2 months or so. I have also created 2 new songs and I've already started producing them. So honestly, productivity in creative spaces goes up so much. Like, I cannot tell you. By Wednesday, I think it was, I had written at least the lyrics and chords to at least 2, maybe even 3 new songs, but I've produced the basics of 2 new songs. Like, they're not mixed, the vocals are not done recording or anything like that, but okay. That was crazy. Like, the productivity levels have shot upwards so much. And the thing is, because I don't have to get back to like social media or watching something on Netflix or YouTube, I don't feel pressured in any way when doing that. Like, I don't feel like I need to rest from the creating. Because the creating is kind of restful. It's also sometimes really crazy. It's very restful when you're like, where's the right synth? But yeah, generally it's surprisingly restful to be creative. Maybe this is how it was supposed to be. That social media is just a tool on the side that we sometimes go to and sometimes find a bit of comfort in, not something we should spend all our time on. Another thing that happened is I played piano multiple times. Because of a lot of circumstances in my life this year, I have not been playing a lot of piano, even though it was technically one of the goals for this year to get a bit better at it. But this week I have played piano multiple times. This year I've barely managed to play it even once a week. So I've played like 4 or 5 times this week. That's an improvement. And honestly, learning or improving on an instrument, it doesn't have to be like massive leaps and practicing all the time. Even if you can just spend like 5-10 minutes a day on it, which most of us can scrape together if we really want to, makes a big difference over a month, over a few months. And I think I will start making that time again because I love playing piano. Another result, and I've already mentioned this, is you have so much time for your thoughts and for processing them, for processing your emotions, but also for your thoughts to just tumble along, flow along, just exist again. Because this is something that I feel we drown out a lot with social media and with Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube, whatever you like watching or consuming. We drown that out so much that the thoughts in our head are often not paid attention to anymore, and they're quieted, they're stuffed down. And I think that's not actually very helpful. It might be worth considering having a little bit of quiet time every day, even once the reading deprivation stops. Just time where nothing else is going on, where I can just do some sort of menial labor or work out or dance or whatever, and just let it flow. Also, you get so many creative ideas during that. That's part of the reason why I've been writing so many songs and why I've been creating so much, because my brain has the space again to think about these things, to come up with these things. It's not feeling as pressured and as hurried as it is with all the social media. The last result is, yes, it drove me crazy sometimes. It did. I cannot deny that. Like, again, I will put in some snippets somewhere to show you how frustrated I was on some days, because it was like, what do I fill my time with now? And of course, there are so many things that I can do and should be doing, but it all feels so wide open suddenly, and that can be a little bit overwhelming too. And, you know, sometimes, especially in the evenings when I would usually like to watch like an episode or two of something, I now have to fill that otherwise. I have been filling it with like painting and dancing. I've been dancing a lot. Honestly, that was a really good thing about this too. I have been dancing so much because I have the time, because what else am I going to fill my time with? What else have I been doing? This is another small exception I made. I've been reviewing my Korean vocabulary because I learn Korean. I am learning Korean. Why can't I not even use proper English anymore? I have been doing that too, and I have the space now to do that daily. I just have to remember to do it. Filling the space was sometimes a little bit crazy, and sometimes you're just not gonna fill it. You're just gonna walk up and down your apartment or go on a walk or sit outside on your balcony and be like, what am I going to do with the next hour? Because you can't really do something big because you have to go to work, but you also still want to do something with an entire hour, not just sit there and stare out at something or walk up and down and go crazy. It's not ideal. Yeah. My conclusion about reading deprivation: is it worth trying? Yes, absolutely it is. Give it a try. Even if you're not doing the artist's way, even if you're just going to be doing it for like a weekend, it's so worth it. You will learn to listen to yourself a little bit again, and I think especially nowadays that's really good. Also, it makes you, if you do it for longer than like a day or two, it does bring some rage with it, probably. But it also eventually brings an inner calm if you're doing it for more days, because the last few days I was so much. But today I'm like, yeah, let's see how tonight goes, because in the evenings where I'm not actively already doing something and have plans, they're a little harder to fill. But we've got this. Try it out. Tell me what you think about this. It was fun because it kind of tested me a little bit, and that's good. Pushing some boundaries is good. And I will definitely carry over some of the lessons I've learned and keep on doing that. But I also look forward to occasionally just being able to watch a movie or something. I do miss that. I do admit it. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you again with another video soon. Bye. Bye. Hey, trust me.